The questions on the table are, who claims to be the most educated, and what does being the most educated mean? Most commonplace and logical thinking people would make the assertion that being the most educated is not only a function of how many degrees any one demographic has accrued. We know things like field of study matters, because field of study often predicts success in the workplace. And that's adhesive to primarily three things: mobility, contribution to one's racial and ethnic background, and financial earning potential. We tend to look at education from another standpoint as well. It is also important to know how much one sacrificed in order to attain educational success. In other words, from both an individual and allegiance to one's racial and ethnic background standpoint, how much was lost for him or her to attain education. In layman's terms, are you really educated if you sacrificed your children, the potential for you to be happily or healthily married to your male or female counterpart, your long-term happiness, enjoyment, and fulfillment of life, your youth, and your contributions to the people you hail from, that of which, if did not exist, neither would you? So what do we know? We know, adhesive to formal education, the degree directly reflects the field of study chosen. And we also know that said formal education is not the only way to gauge one's success. Because let's be honest, at the age one exits a learning institution, would you rather have collected pieces of paper that serve no other purpose than to inform your employer of the course of study that you've completed or millions of dollars in your bank account? Right, it should be obvious the difference of education in a year of a gender studies course and hands-on experience at a stock trading institution, which would be more beneficial. Adhesive to livelihood and indoctrination. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of it all. The demographic that overwhelmingly claims to be the most educated is black women. But keeping in mind all that we've covered thus far, are they? This is a chart of bachelor's, master's, and doctor's degrees conferred by post-secondary institutions by race, ethnicity, and sex of student. At the far left, level of degrees and sex of student. And the meat of this chart is the percentage distribution of degrees conferred to U.S. citizens and permanent residents. So essentially, percentage-wise, who generally attains what level of degree? So if we look at associate degrees, black women out-earn their men with 13.6 degrees attained. But they do not out-earn white females with 51% of degrees or Hispanic females with 25%. Let's go to bachelors. They out-earn their men again with 11.4, but they do not out-earn white women, and they do not out-earn Hispanic women. Masters out-earned us again, but they do not out-earn white women. And out-earned us again with doctorates, but not white women, and Hispanics are right on your heel. Incidentally, relative to number of degrees attained, black women are not out-earning any men except for their own, and Hispanic men, but only at the level of masters and doctorates. So by the numbers, black women are far from the most educated unless what they mean is more educated than their own men in the number of degrees they attain. So let's keep digging to see if black women are truly the most educated. Part 2.